Hey guys, my name is Katie, and for this video today I'm going to be doing a relaxing, chill book haul. I haven't uploaded in a little bit just because I've been handling like the end of my college semester and everything. There's a bunch of stuff going on with that, but won't get into that here. Let's get into the books. So about half of these are from December and half of them are from January. Bought them all with gift cards. Gonna be it's a wonderful selection we have here. While I'm taking these out, I feel like I want to talk about, like, personally I've been feeling that I'm like growing out of young adult fiction. Like I remember even just like earlier this year I was like telling myself like I don't think I'll ever grow out of young adult fiction because like it's, you know, it's fun, I guess. And I was like, even if I'm not a young adult anymore, like it's like nostalgic. I'm very much a young adult. I'm nowhere near not being a young adult yet. But yeah, I've just been feeling that I feel like whenever I pick up a new young adult book, the synopsis is so ordinary, and I think it's just because like I feel like I've read the same books over and over and over. So I've been trying to branch out, and I know in 2020 I did branch out a little bit with reading more adult books. That was a lot to do with like classes and everything, but I think on my own I'm definitely trying to do that more this year. So let's get into the books. So I actually have a few young adult books still. The first one is The Truth Project by Dante Medema. This one kind of, I saw it in the store, and I'm very much a person who judges a book by its cover. So I saw this and it really reminded me of the novel Speak, which I read in like 8th grade and I loved it so much. And it kind of brought me back to that because like a girl and like trees, and that's important if you know what I'm talking about. So this book basically explains the journey that a high schooler takes with a certain school project, and then with the project it's like she has to like send it, it's like her DNA testing. She finds out that her father is not actually her real father. So I think that pretty much this is, she kind of goes on a quest to find the truth, hence the name, The Truth Project. It's a school project and she's looking for the truth. But yeah, I mean, I thought it sounded interesting. I feel like that actually isn't something that I see in a lot of young adult novels. I don't know, something must have stood out to me. I think that it'll very much be a book about finding one's identity, and I really like books that focus on that. So I pretty much like all the young adult books that I'm picking up, I feel like they have to have some even though it's for young adults, I feel like the themes are still pretty mature, and I think that, you know, finding oneself is just a really interesting thing to think about, and it's something that we're all doing all the time. So next book I got is Library of Souls by Ransom, and this is the third book in the Miss Peregrine's what's it called? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, that series. This is the third one. I read the second one a few months ago and I actually really enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I knew I would like it because I liked the first one a lot. But I don't know, it was just like, I don't read a lot of like thrillers, and it was like actually kind of thrilling to read, and I didn't expect it to be that way. I don't know if it's like advertised as a thriller or anything, but it's definitely interesting, and I hope that this book lives up to that reputation as well. I'm not gonna explain the synopsis of this book because I don't know if anything's like spoilery, but the first book basically focuses on this boy named Jacob, and he kind of finds out that his grandfather was not the man that he thought he was, and basically he travels to this island and he finds this group of kids pretty much who are basically trapped in a time bubble, and they each have like different abilities, So yeah, it's kind of a journey with that, kind of figuring out who his grandfather really was, and also finding comfort with these new peculiar people. So the next book I have is Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis, and this is also a young adult novel. It's shorter, it's pretty short, I feel like, but this is, oh, I actually bought this one too, this book at the top that I'll be mentioning later. But this book is basically about a girl who goes hiking in the woods with her friends, and she, you know, knows nature pretty well. It's not hard for her to navigate, you know, trees and everything and directions and stuff. But she falls in a ravine and she gets lost and she doesn't have anything. So this is pretty much like a survival story. And I haven't read one of these in a long time. Like the first one that comes to mind is like Hatchet, which my 4th or 5th grade teacher read to my class. And that one was really good. I mean, I really do want to start getting more into thrillers, I think. I think that the second Miss Peregrine's book, Hollow City, really made me realize that. So I'm really excited to get into this one because thrillers are exciting and also I really like nature. So I think that's, you know, a fun mix. Of course. So the next book I have is World of Wonders by Aimee Nezhukumatathil. This one I picked up at Barnes & Noble because it was labeled Book of the Year and I thought it seemed interesting. This is a non-fiction book basically about where all of the places the author has gone and all the creatures the author has kind of observed and come into contact with. It has drawings like this. It's so cute. I freaking love axolotls. But yeah, I thought this would be a nice kind of refresher. I think that I'm really going to enjoy it. I think I'm going to enjoy the nonfiction. I think I'm going to enjoy the animals in it. Hopefully learn some things. And yeah. So this last book that I bought in December is Are You Listening by Tillie Walden. And I wasn't actually sure if I wanted to buy this book because I have read another book by her. It was a figure skating one. What was it called? I have it. I'm trying to look for it. Spinning. That's what it's called. But yeah, that's by the same author, Tillie Walden. And I didn't like that one as much. I read it like many years ago, so honestly my opinion could have changed. And also I think it was the first graphic novel that I'd ever read, so that kind of had an influence on it because like I wasn't really used to how fast that graphic novels move. But yeah, this one seems to be about a road trip that two people go on to, I think they're strangers, B and Lou. Yeah, I think they kind of meet and they go on a road trip. And it doesn't say why, but it does say that it's a haunting story of friendship, loss, heartbreak, and traumatic revelation. Oh, about sexual assault. So, okay, so yeah, it seems like this is kind of like definitely a trigger warning book, but definitely, I guess it explores themes of like sexual assault and like I said, I really love those deeper themes in young adult novels. Probably, like, I feel like just because, like, now that I'm, like, getting older, I'm, you know, thinking about these things more and I'm experiencing a lot more things. A good, sad book is what I really love. So now we're getting into the books that I bought in January. And the first one, we'll start off very strong with the first one, So Sad Today by Melissa Broder. I started reading this already when I got it in the mail like a few days ago. And I'm over halfway through already. This book is, I'm almost positive it's going to be 5 stars for me. It's wonderful. It's basically a collection of essays by the author, so this is nonfiction as well. And it says, Melissa Broder grapples with sex, death, love, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, addiction, and the drama of waiting for the universe to text you back. This is very much not a young adult book. This is definitely an adult book. But like, it's funny, it's sad, it's gross, all in relatable ways, and I love it. I've already tabbed and I've already highlighted and underlined so many things in here. I just love how honest and raw it is. I really feel like I know her secrets, some of her secrets at least. It's really nice to relate to someone because of shared negative qualities. Like, I love that this book addresses that everybody has something wrong with them. Nobody's perfect, nobody's, you know, a saint, except literal saints, but they're still not metaphorical saints, probably, you know, if you know what I mean. But I just love it. It's just so honest, and it really is. This is one of the first books I read in a long time where I was actually, where I'm actually reading because I want to see what happens next, rather than just getting the chapter done. Like, I've really been taking my time with it, and that's not something that I've done in so long, and I'm honestly really glad that I've been able to do that with this book. Still at the restaurant, still sitting in a corner I haunt, cross dim light. Okay, sorry. So next book is You. Probably a lot of you have heard of the show You on Netflix, and I actually bought this book because of the show, of course. But basically this is the book that it is based on. It seems like it's pretty closely written to the show. I'm not sure which one came first, actually. It looks like this came out for 2014, so I think that was before, it was definitely before the show came out on Netflix. I think it's kind of written in the second person sometimes, which I think is really interesting, because in the show, there's like this narration that the main character Joe does that's like really creepy, like he's talking to you, but he's talking about the love interest, which is Beck. So basically, Joe kind of like develops a crush on her, and it escalates pretty fast, actually, I think. This is definitely, I don't know if it's classified as like a thriller or a horror. I don't think it would be horror. I think probably thriller. I mean, they had Stephen King write a little blurb. Hypnotic and scary, totally original. I think so too. I haven't read that much horror and thrillers, but I don't know. I feel like Stephen King is a trustworthy reviewer of thriller books, you know. Next book I have is Broken Things by Lauren Oliver, and I got this one because a friend recommended it, and it really reminded me of a past favorite that I used to have, which was Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls. Very much reminds me of that book because they both have, it's kind of like it's like a murder mystery about like, so like this teenage girl dies, they don't know what happened, and nobody knows what happened, and they're trying to find out what happened, basically, to her friend Summer in this book. So I think this will definitely be kind of like another introspective young adult novel. It seems like it's very much about, you know, hidden truths and old memories, and I love that stuff. I love it. It's the best, in my opinion. I love it. This was the other book that was written by Mindy McGinnis, and it's called The Female of the Species. This is a story about Alex, whose sister was murdered, and she never got justice. It's kind of vague, the explanation here, but it says, as their senior year unfolds, Alex's darker nature breaks out, setting these three teens on a collision course that will change their lives forever. So it seems like this is another dark one. And I don't know much about it, and honestly, I'd like it that way. I'd like to keep it that way. I'm not gonna search for information, but yeah. I also like the bright cover. I know chartreuse is absolutely disgusting and I hate it as an idea, but honestly, looking at it, it's not that bad. But the idea of chartreuse is nasty. Like, it shouldn't be called chartreuse. This is not chartreuse. This should be chartreuse. Insert picture of chartreuse here. This one is another thriller. I didn't think that I bought so many thrillers. So this is Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl, and I feel like I've heard that name recently, but I don't know where. But pretty much this is about a group of friends who get caught in a storm, and they basically end up staying at this mansion, and obviously that's a horrible idea to do that. Don't do that. Because the man who owns the mansion ends up telling them all that one of them has to die and they all have to make a unanimous decision on who. I wouldn't want to be put in that situation. I feel like we're definitely going to get into the characters' heads in this one because, you know, it's like, you know, with the guilt of deciding something like that is really hard. So I feel like that's gonna maybe make me question some things, which is, again, what I love. So I also ordered another book that hasn't come in the mail yet, but I was super excited about it. I was gonna read it if it came in that package with the others, but it didn't. Hopefully it'll come today, but I'm not gonna wait to talk about it. I'm just gonna talk about it now. Insert the cover here. So this book is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Ried, and I really want to read this one as soon as possible because I know that the movie came out on Netflix and I haven't seen it yet and I really want to watch it, but I want to read the book first. And I feel like it's something that I'm going to love. I hope that I love it. Oh, it's an adult book. I thought it was young adult, but I guess it's not. The description is pretty vague as well. It looks like it says a man and his girlfriend are on their way to a secluded farm when the two take an unexpected detour. She is left stranded in a deserted high school, wondering if there's any escape at all. Yeah, this is a horror novel. I thought it was going to be like more so contemporary, and I thought it was going to be like a psychological young adult contemporary novel, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But honestly, this sounds interesting too. I've definitely read the synopsis before, so it's not like I ordered a book and had no idea what it was about. But I don't know, I guess I just like made up a fake version in my head, but whatever. That is it. That is, how many books is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. So that was an 11 book haul. Probably the biggest haul I will ever do because that was a ton of money. Gift cards though, that is the advantage that I had here. I also bought a Moleskine journal from Barnes & Noble that I'm making into my reading journal, so I'm working on that now. Maybe I'll make some videos about it if any of you guys want to see like the layout of my journal. It could be interesting, maybe. I guess that's it. I guess that's all the books. Thank you so much for watching. As always, check out the description for some important links about different causes that I am passionate about. If you want to follow me on any social medias, those are also in the description. I'm a host of the Minecraft Readathon, which you might want to follow on Twitter if you are looking for a readathon to participate in for this May. Thanks for watching!